Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. So today is an exciting one. I've wanted to do this for a while and I did film it, but then it messed up and I wasn't happy with the footage, so I just scrapped it and we're starting again now. I filmed it quite a few months back. I filmed it quite a few months back, and then a palette came into my collection and I wanted to see what my thoughts were on that so I could rank that in this ranking as well. So if you haven't already guessed it, it's ColourPop. So we're going to rank them least favourite to favourite. How many have we got? 1, 2... Right. So we've got 13 palettes. Just before we get into it, we're talking about the bigger palettes. So we're not talking about the 9 pans. I've already ranked them. I'll link that video to this one. So guys, do you think you'll know what my first place will be? Leave it in the comments down below, or at the end of the video just say, yeah, I knew it was going to be that one. A lot of you know my preferences by now, because you've been watching me a long time, which is just so massive. I do see you guys that are new here, so hi, my name's Andrea, or Andy to everyone else. Thank you so much for coming across, and I really do appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So right, so in 13th place, I feel like this is a good video to do. It tells me what my preferences are, and also it helps with the declutter. So we've got the ColourPop Truly Madly Deeply. They brought it out for Valentine's Day. Somebody said it was an ultra special, and then obviously it went to the website. I've taken one shade out of it, Blossom, that one there. It must be in my self-made ColourPop palette that I made up. This palette, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll take some more shades out of it and then just declutter the rest of it, because I feel like it's taking space up in my drawers. I feel like it doesn't need to be in the drawer. So yeah, maybe I could even use this palette, because I am short of magnetic palettes. It will only fit ColourPop singles in, won't it? And they're a lot smaller than normal singles, so scrap that idea unless I make another ColourPop palette. I do want to try and do a dupe for the Snow White, but I don't think I've got any blues. I'll figure that out. But anyway, I'm going off topic. This is in 13th place. I'm not going to be doing any swatches, guys. I'm just going to tell you why. A lot of the shades I don't use, like these deeper, like maroon red tones, I don't use. I don't use the glitters. I've used them once when I reviewed the palette. They're not safe for the eye area, so that's why I don't like to use them. I've got enough problems with my eyes without adding more problems on, and it would just be a nightmare if you got some of this flaky glitter in your eyes. One of the only shades that I really do like is Mr. Sandman. You can get that in one of the purple palettes, so you can get that in, it's not Lilac Hue a lot because I've got that one. What's the other purple palette that they brought out? What was that called? The one with the deeper purples. I'll let you know in the video. I can't remember it. Anyway, basically put that shade in here. So I like that one, but it is, I said I'm not going to do any swatches. It is starting to get, I mean, I don't know if it's always been that way. It is quite powdery, so I'm not keen on that. I do like this cutout shade here, so I might keep that, and then I might keep the neutral shades, just because you always need a good neutral, don't you, in this cream ivory shade. I'll see how I feel. I don't want to get rid of the entire palette. I mean, I do like ColourPop eyeshadows, but in this palette itself there's a lot of shades that I don't. But part of me thinks, shall I just keep it in case maybe in a few months, a year's time, maybe I'll kind of like those like red wine shades. I don't know. But yeah, that's in 13th place. Again, a similar thing with this one here. It's the ColourPop Lush Like Me, and so many people have said I was surprised that you got that palette because it's not your usual colour story, and it just looks like that. And again, on that bottom row there are so many dark shades which aren't me, so I can only really use like 2/3 of the palette. I do like all the other shades, like on rows 1 and 2. I think they're nice, they're quite grungy, so I'll keep it, but I don't really like this bottom row, so that's 12th place. 11th place, I think you're going to be shocked at this one. So the 11th place was the ColourPop Fade into Hue, and I wanted this for the longest time just because I don't have all of the £9 palettes, and it comes with some beautiful pinks. I could have done a really nice Valentine's Day look with that. So pink leaning reds, it comes with that. It comes with the oranges, yellows, greens. I don't have the blue palette that they brought out, Blue Moon I think it was called, and I don't have the purple palette that they brought out either. So you would think this would be right up my street, but I've barely got any use out of it, and I'm doing this least favourite to favourite on the usage and also how this palette makes me feel. I won't get rid of it because, like I said, you know, if I'm doing a Valentine's Day look and I can remember next year, I might bring this one out and do that Valentine's Day look. But it is one of my least ColourPop palettes in my collection, so that's 11th place. To be fair guys, I've only used these palettes one time. Like when I'm doing the videos for YouTube, 3 looks, 1 palette, it's like I buy things just to do reviews on them and first impressions and whatnot, and I'm going to stop doing that in 2023. It's just, my channel isn't that big that I can just buy X amount of, you know, makeup to review. My channel isn't that big that I can just buy X amount of makeup to review, because, you know, because it's costly, you know, and I'm just going to stop doing it. I've got a lot of makeup in my collection, you know, I'm planning on doing more projects, so yeah, there is that. 10th place, so these are the top 10. So Menage a Moi is in 10th place, and this is the colour story. Again, I've taken Fullest out. I think that was a glitter, and that's why actually probably wasn't. I'm not too sure what shade that was. I will check because we've got 2 glitters here, and I don't know why I've kept them in because, again, I don't use glitters. I've actually put a lot of glitters in my £9 palette just so that all the glitters are together in case I want to use them in the future going forward for something else. You can use them on your face, they just don't recommend you use them near the eye area. It is a really, really pretty palette. The reason I don't like it is because you're only getting 2 shimmers, so you're getting Amoy, which is a really, really light pink, and then you're getting Miss You, which is a deep wine, like almost cranberry shade, and I don't use those kind of shades. Like I said, all the videos are on the channel. I will actually try and put them in the video, all these palettes I'm talking about, just in case you do want to watch them. I mean, 10th place for that one. And this could have been joint 10th place, to be honest. So this is in 9th place. It's the Wild Nothing palette. The only thing that makes me hang on to these palettes are the packaging, and I shouldn't be keeping palettes for packaging. I mean, my drawers are literally full of palettes, and I was saying to both Naomi and Lisa last night I'd love to get my collection down to 2 drawers. A couple of years ago I was saying I'd love to get my collection down to 1 drawer, and now so much has come in the collection. And not only that, I've got 3 drawers of eyeshadow palettes, then on top of the surfaces are more eyeshadow palettes which are more expensive ones. So yeah, the declutter has just got to be a little bit more ruthless than it's been in previous years, I think, this year. Right, so anyway, that's what it looks like. You can see I've taken quite a few shades out. These shimmers barely show up, and that's why I don't like them. I think the darker ones like Alcove did and Seashells, but these ones up here barely showed up. I didn't like Spirited. That one's a super shock. I just didn't like it. I love the mattes though, and I'll probably, if I get rid of this palette, I'll probably just take the mattes out. Again, we've got Morningside and Hot Springs, really like that. So Crystal Cove here would make a nice kind of brow bone highlight, because I do like to have a matte brow bone highlight rather than a shimmer one. So that's that. So in 8th place, we've got this beautiful packaging. It's the ColourPop Flutterby, and I like this a little bit more than the, was it Menage a Moi? Yeah, I like that a little bit more. So I'd be more inclined to keep hold of this one. It's got some really nice mauve tones in it. The shimmers are a little bit better, but they look like they're getting powdery. I've not had them that long. They do really look like they're getting powdery. So whichever ones I decide to keep, I'm going to have to do kind of a ColourPop. Will I keep it or something like that? Maybe I'll do that in lives. I feel like that'll be fun because a lot of people do like ColourPop. Maybe do a chopping block series. Like I'll do a chopping block series once a week, but we'll do that live. But yeah, I do feel like I like this one a lot more than the Menage a Moi, and this one will probably stay in the collection. Right, so in 7th place is this one. So it's the Lizzie McGuire What Dreams Are Made Of. It's so cute. The packaging is so cute, isn't it? And I absolutely adore this palette. It's beautiful for spring and summer. The only thing again is this glitter. I want to say though with ColourPop, I mean I've not bought from them recently, I want to say that they don't put as many glitters in these days, which I think is just really, really good. But this palette is beautiful and that won't be going anywhere. 6th place. So we're moving quite fast through these. So 6th place is ColourPop Malibu Barbie palette. Absolutely love this one as well. So that's what it looks like. What I like about this is you can do neutral looks as well as really, really bright looks. When I looked at this, I didn't use it for the longest times. I was like, no, I don't really want to do bright looks. And then I looked at it again when I did a Shop My Stash, and I'm like, there's loads of neutrals in there. There's Come On, there's Shine On, there's 1971, and then there's the neutral mattes. And then you can just use like these matte shades like as a liner, like you can do graphic liner with them. So that's why I like this palette. So that's that one. Oh, in the top 5, guys. So in 5th place, I thought this would come lower down actually, but I've gone through it like 3 or 4 times because I absolutely love this palette. 2 pieces. It's the first ColourPop Hocus Pocus palette they brought out, and I didn't get it when they first released it. I got it out I think the year after, or maybe a couple of years after. Anyway, it looks like that. I mean, how pretty is that packaging? So yeah, that's a really, really nice palette to use in the autumn. And you know, I brought it out last Halloween and did some looks with it. Again, that's on the channel. I'll do what I can in putting that into the video somewhere. Right, so 4th place. So this came out, this Boudoir Noir came out with the Menage a Moi around the same time. This one blew my socks off when I used it. It's so pretty. It's really, really grungy. Again, I've taken 2 shades out of it. But yeah, I really, really like the way it looks. I think I took the 2 shades out of this palette for when I did the dupe for the Sydney Grace palette in memory of Mel Thompson. I think they're in that palette. I'm almost sure they are because I don't think they're in my pastel palette because they're not pastel shades. But look how grungy it is. I love this Desire shade here. Sleep In. I don't like the glitter, the Bedtime Story, so that could quite easily go, and I could put something similar in its place, or like I could make a colour story of my own doing. But yeah, I mean, I think it's absolutely beautiful. So that's in 4th place. I didn't know, I got stuck. I didn't know which one I liked the best. So Boudoir Noir or Good as Gold, and I decided to put this one in 3rd place, but they could quite easily have been joint 3rd. So that's what that one looks like. And this one apparently came out around Christmas a couple of years ago. I think they still do this on the website. So if it's your colour story, which golds are pretty much everyone's colour stories, aren't they? I would say to you, if it's your colour story and you like it, I would say, yeah, it's worth every penny. Again, I don't really like the glitters, but these don't feel like glitters, they feel like eyeshadows, so I don't mind them. Absolutely a beautiful palette, going nowhere. 2nd place is the Limoncello palette. This one is absolutely stunning, great for summer, great for all year round actually, just looking at it. So that's what that one looks like. It's absolutely amazing. I can't wait to use that again. Like I said, I've only used them one time, but like 3 or 4 different looks. Right, so we're doing 1st place now. So the winner is, can you guess? So So can you guess what my favourite is? What I haven't spoke about, but what I've used recently. If you can, again, leave me a comment. So, ta-da! It's this one. So it's the ColourPop Holidays Disney the Muppets palette, and Karen kindly gifted me this for, it wasn't for Christmas, but it was around Christmas time, because that's when it was released, of last year, so 2022. I mean, look at it. I won't take it out of this packaging purely because they're on stage, aren't they? So yeah, it looks like that. It's really, really pretty. And then, oh, such an amazing colour story. And then that's what it looks like. It is definitely my favourite palette. It might even be my favourite palette of ColourPop altogether, including 9 pans. So that's that one there. So yeah, absolutely love it. There's not one shade in here that I don't like. Even this festive shade here, which is clearly a glitter, I absolutely love. The blues, I love. I mean, I'm not much of a blue person, as you know if you've watched my channel for a while. I'm not much of a blue person, but I do really, really like it. This looked really nice when I deepened it out, when I used the Stunt Santa shade. And I'll definitely be bringing this out this coming Christmas to use. I don't feel, unless ColourPop bring out a really cute Christmas palette, I don't feel like I need to be buying another Christmas palette because I can just use this. I want to also show you guys the self-made palette that I used in the spring summer last year, which was all ColourPop shades. So just hang on and I'll go and get that and I'll show you. Right, so I've got 3 palettes here, and I'll go through each and every one of them because they've all got ColourPop shades in. Right, so we've got this one. This one's got a mixture in actually, but this was the pastel palette I used last year, and these, like all these here going down, have all come from different ColourPop palettes. So all these have come from like the pastel eyeshadow palettes that ColourPop brought out, the 9 pounds. And then we've got these like duochromes here, these pastel duochromes from Glam Shop, and these ones down here as well. Then these are from some random palette which I don't remember. I want to test them, and if I don't like them, they'll just come out of this palette. But I do really, really love this. So before I got the Natasha Denona one, I was trying to dupe the Natasha Denona palette, and I realised that I could dupe it with some of the ColourPop shades. Karen kindly gifted me the Natasha Denona palette a couple of years ago for my birthday. So not this birthday just gone, the one before it. I then realised, you know, I had a lot of ColourPop pastel shades, and I hadn't put this palette together at that point. Once I'd used the Natasha Denona pastel palette, I then realised I had a lot of ColourPop pastels that I wasn't using, so I decided to put this together, and it's had so much more use with it all being in one palette. It needs a lot more use, but yeah, that's that one. Hey guys, so I was just finishing up the video. I was editing it, got all the way to the end, and it cut out just as I was finishing talking about the self-made ColourPop eyeshadow palettes. So I just want to quickly go through that with you. First of all, we've got this, whoops, small one here. So this is a dupe for the Give Me Glow Pastel Dreams. I feel like this one is actually better, guys. It's not central, is it? So yeah, I feel like this one is better. So the majority of the, like these shades here, the ones that you can see are flaky, they're from Pastel Roses. This one over here is from Glam Shop. That's a duochrome. So basically this one, this one, this one, this one and this one are from Pastel Roses, and that one's from Glam Shop, and then the rest are from various different ColourPop palettes. It's really, really pretty, especially for spring. I mean, let me show you some of these Pastel Roses shades. They're just phenomenal, out of this world gorgeous. Look at them. I think these two here are multi-chromes. I think that's a duochrome. See if I can swatch it on my hand. You might not be able to see it because of the light. And then I'll do a swatch of the yellow as well. That's definitely a duochrome. This one is the newest one in the palette. So it's a yellow with an orange shift. And we'll put that one there. I mean, aren't they just absolutely gorgeous? So yeah, I definitely need to bring that out in the spring summer months. It's just absolutely stunning. So this is a dupe for the Sydney Grace in memory of Mel Thompson palette. So I duped it with all my ColourPop shades. They're from various different palettes. I wouldn't be able to tell you the shades. I'm thinking about maybe putting all these, if they'll fit, in that Truly Madly Deeply palette. And then I'll have this palette for something else, because I'm always running short of magnetic palettes. So I'm thinking about doing that. I mean, how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 20 shades. I honestly don't know if it's going to fit in that palette. But if it does, by some miracle, then I'm going to do that. If it doesn't, I'll leave it in this palette. But yeah, guys, that concludes the video now. I didn't want to jump on camera and put makeup on again. It's the next day. I'm going to be doing a live today as well. But obviously this video isn't going to go up for a while. So I'm going to do a live today. It's Saturday the 18th of February. As I'm filming this. I don't know when this video is going to go up. So yeah, this concludes the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your favourite ColourPop palette is. I'd be really interested to know. Please like, it really does help get my channel out there and I massively appreciate it. Share and comment, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.